Seriously, why SEO? What's the importance of it? You know, to me, it's saving your business. To me, it's improving your bottom line. To me, it's about ROI. To me, and to you, it should be about not having to pay for placement. It should be about organic growth and doing what we can on our own and with others who can help. So paid versus organic, if you haven't seen it, you know, paid's at the top. It used to be on the right side. There's no more ads on the right side. It's usually 3 or 4 at the top and then at the bottom, depending on your industry and where you're located. And the search volume and competitors determines the cost per click. It also depends on your quality score, page rank, a lot of different things. The future of local SEO. Now, this is what I've found very interesting recently. This is changing more so than you know, the broader national, bigger SEO. So the future of local SEO I see changing more drastically. I see them getting involved more with the knowledge panel, like knowledge graphs on the right side. Basically, Google's trying to use machine learning to predict and give us the best answer at the fastest and most relevant time. And it's doing that using this thing called RankBrain. And now, you know, I think it was an acquisition of this company called Pulse. But what Pulse is, or what it will be for local businesses, essentially you can make an update, and I'm assuming it's going to be on your Google My Business page, but I'm not positive yet. There's a lot going on there too, where you can make an update or say something live, like a special, and it'll have it promoted within the knowledge graph, which is really cool. As far as competition, like I said, industry, competitors, what they're doing, what you're doing, and just keeping an eye out for what's going on in the industry and staying on top of that. It's constantly changing, so I'm always researching, I'm always looking up new tactics, and you guys should be doing the same. So this is a graph of organic search on the first page. Nobody here probably goes past the first page unless you do SEO. I go past the first page. I'd say if you want to go past the first page, something that you could potentially do it for is backlinking opportunities. So you could go on like the second or third page and see what other, if it's not like a local business website, see what's there. See if it's a local publication or a news outlet. See if it's a website that you could, or a blog that you could link to. Just see what's out there. Losing real estate for local. We're losing it. The knowledge panel, the ads, they're taking up all the space. The local listings are taking up space. You're not going to see your website for local repair search until, you know, it's not going to be in the first half of the page. You just won't see it there. So you need to advertise, and that's what Google's forcing us to do. And we suck at it. We do. Not me, but probably most people in this room, and just to be blunt. 5 key steps for getting on the first page of Google. Let's get into the nitty-gritty here. So it starts with your website. I'm sure you all have a website. If you don't, you should probably get one. Now, your website comes to Onpage SEO, then we're going to talk about the Webmaster Search Console, local listings, off-page, backlinking, and then we'll talk about reputation management. To me, these are 5 key components. Follow through in the playbook. So your website, Onpage SEO. Probably sounds familiar. What is this? This is your metadata. This is your HTML. This is your title, description, your keywords. This is following Google's guidelines, following what Moz says, following, you know, some of the biggest players in the game as far as what they say, what to do, tagging things, making sure your website communicates with Google effectively and other search engines. Just talk their language. You know, this is a machine. This is coding. This is, you know, algorithms. You know, you got to fit into what they're trying to mold. So why do that? Why communicate? Because so then they can read you, they can index you, they can crawl you, they can better understand you and give you a better organic rank. They want to be friends with you. Just make it happen. So how do you do that? How do you make that happen? There's a lot of different resources online. I have a resources tab in the playbook, like a bunch of resources. You can work with an agency or a webmaster. There's a lot of different things you can do. You can follow that or you can hire somebody. So the Webmaster Search Console, this is where you submit your website to Google. There's a couple different ways you can do that. This is your site, and then having them crawl and index your site. And then there's a lot that has to do with in-betweens there. So why do you do this? Obviously so they can crawl and communicate with you and index your site. How do you do that? Same thing. And that's the website to go there. You can do it for other search for like Bing and Yahoo as well. This is kind of what the dashboard looks like. So if you sign in there, and then if you break down each one of those columns like search appearance, search traffic, you just want to go through this one by one. You want to take care of your errors like 404s, put in some redirects, geez. Just take care of your search console, clean it up, make sure you're doing everything right. Follow some YouTube videos, forums, talk to some people. This can be done. I mean, it sounds super tricky if you don't know anything about it, but it's possible to fix this. Local listings. So I've seen a lot more to do with local listings, especially Google My Business. They're changing a lot. They actually just opened up another partnership program for agencies and photographers because they want local businesses to be more widely recognized, and they want them to have optimized listings with like good updated pictures and like 360 videos, all the updated contact info, make sure that's relevant and consistent across the board, and just be in here constantly, respond to reviews that you get. Why do we do this? Because we want to be relevant and consistent in the eyes of Google. We want to make sure we're providing them, good resources for the people looking for what we have to offer. So you can hire somebody, but for local listings, you can do a lot of this yourself, or you can use aggregators like Moz Local, Yext. There's a couple things out there that you can use. You got to pay to play, but it takes a lot of hassle off of you. Any questions for 1 through 3?
How do you interview a webmaster or someone who claims to know how to do SEO? Because you got different ranges of education level within it. How do you know that they're not just scamming you? They say, hey, I know how to do SEO, and they only know how to do.
Right. It's a really good question. I'm sure you guys get called all the time, like, oh, we'll get you ranked to the top of Google. It's like, how will you do that? What are you going to do for me? I hear it every day, man. So it's a good question. I guess you could use this playbook. You could say, well, what are you going to do steps 1 through 5 here? Like, how are you going to do it for me? You could take this and put that in front of them. You could ask them for referrals, like, oh, give me like 3 names and numbers of people I can call you did that for. Let me see a portfolio of some of the clients that you had, and maybe you can reach out to them. But it's a good question. I'd probably use one of those tactics. Here's some of the local listing and citation directory sites. The main point of this is to have your information accurate and relevant across the board. You don't want to have, Google My Business have a different address or phone number than Yellow Pages or Foursquare. You want it to be the same across the board. And it's a little tricky, honestly, because you might need to do some of them manually because of how they have the address or phone number. Like some will spell out street and the other ones will have like ST period. And that's like weird to Google. So make sure those are updated. If you ever move or change your number, just stay on top of that. Backlinking. Backlinking's crazy, I know. So this is what I call part of off-site, off-page SEO. So this is like a popularity contest. Getting other websites to point to your site. Make sure they're credible and valid. You want websites with high page rank, so PR, high page authority, PA, and high domain authority, DA. So those 3 things are important. If you're getting a backlink from the Wall Street Journal in an article compared to like a blog that just launched yesterday that talks about nonsense, obviously it's going to have higher authority, more popular, and Google's going to recognize that and give you a boost in your organic SEO. So you want to anchor text your backlinks. You guys know what that means? What's that mean?
It means that you're actually going to have a clickable link with time.
Exactly. So you want to have keywords in your backlink. It's kind of difficult to get, honestly, because if you're just submitting to directories and like all these easy submissions, you're just going to have a link to your site. And so if all the backlinks to your site are just your domain or part of your domain, Google's going to be like, that's a little scammy. Like, why aren't people anchor text backlinking with iPhone repair Philly? So you want to get some anchor text backlinks. And so you can do that with like blog submissions, different like article submissions, different syndication tactics. Why do we do this? Credibility, how, some of these options. And just do some research, but a lot of this can be difficult and time consuming, so you probably want to talk to somebody because there are a lot of scammy artists, agencies out there. Number 5, reputation management. This is the easiest one. This is your Yelp, this is your reviews, this is your social media. Be active, stay active, talk to your customers, talk to your people who wrote you a review. There's like some examples of what we do. Like, we don't have any bad reviews, and if we do, we just talk to the people and ask them like how we can help. So that's pretty easy. You can do that on your own.